So Hunter is a new mode to the Crysis series and something we've really just gone in and focused on for Crysis 3 multiplayer. So basically you start off, you have 2 hunters, which are in nano suits, and everybody else is basically a standard cell trooper. So what happens as the game progresses is these hunters go in, and for each one of the troopers they end up picking off, they turn into hunters as well. So as that swells and grows, it becomes increasingly difficult for the troopers. So yeah, it is kind of a zombie mode. I think the 2 words that we use to explain this is tension, and you know, a lot of people have been relating this to like Predator, and I think that's kind of really what we wanted to convey. The hunters, for instance, they're permanently cloaked and only have a bow, so they don't have any other weapons available to them. So the troopers on their side, they have a thing called EMP grenades. So the EMP grenades, when they throw them, they explode in a radius, and then they cause the hunters to become uncloaked for a short period of time. But we've made a few changes to the nanosuit itself in the multiplayer for Crysis 3. So now what we've done is we've actually decoupled the sprinting and the armor and the cloaking. So armor and cloaking have their own bars, and you're able to persistently sprint. And people seem to really like this. It kind of takes a little bit away from the whole energy management, but provides it in a little bit more of a simpler terms in allowing for more focus on actually shooting at people and what you're doing, and to incorporate some different tactics in there. But it also makes it a little bit easier for people to get into. I'd say it's probably pretty well balanced. I mean, you have the fist pound, you have the punching, you have the stealth kills as well. So when you're cloaked and you come up behind somebody, you can take them on in that. So it provides a few more extra angles outside of just using standard weapons. I mean, the bow ties in with a different gameplay style that people really want to get involved in. So in the single player side, I mean, people think, oh, well, the bow has to do everything to do with cloaking, but that's not what we've been seeing with people that have been playing it. We've had a lot of people come through and they've been like everything from using it in cloak to sniping with it to running it in armor mode and jumping over rocks and you know, doing things midair with the bow. So you can do a lot of the same things in the multiplayer side as well. It's really just providing another option in a way that you can play. So the single player side takes place 20+ years after the events of Crysis 2. So what's happened during that time is the Ceph and the Cell have been fighting with each other, and what they've done is they've managed to kind of beat the Ceph down. So what they've done is they've built these nanodomes over top of all the major cities worldwide, and in doing so, they've been telling the public, oh, we're protecting you from the Ceph threat, we're going to save you guys, but there's an underlying thing that they've been doing, and that's harnessing the world's energy powers. And then of course they've been, there's a thing going on with the nanosuits as well, which I don't want to give too much of the story away, but they're really interested in profit. And over the course of that 20 years, and some people may remember from Crysis 1, the suit became infected with alien DNA. So now that's actually played in with how the suit has evolved further, and also the ability to use alien weapons. And there's some story elements in there, and that Prophet's seeing visions of the future and the end of mankind. And he doesn't really understand where this is coming from and how it's coming from, but that's all part of the story and the progression that you're going to experience. So if you look at Crysis 1, yes, it was very open, but there was a lot of terrain that was devoid of any kind of action. And in 2, it was very focused. We had a lot of vertical gameplay and a lot of secondary objectives and things like that that people could go through. So in 3, we've taken that even further, going back to New York again, but adding this jungle environment, which allows us to open things up a little bit more than we were able to in Crysis 2. Give a little bit of both worlds. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to Crysis, but we're just trying to make it just a little bit better. Tessellated Toad Tech. Well, that's actually a question for the CryEngine guys, but yeah, I mean, everybody's seen the tech trailer and it looks gorgeous, and it's really an amazing piece. But most of that stuff, you'd really have to go back to the CryEngine guys for a lot more details, but that's, again, it's top secret Toad Tech. They don't even tell me about it. So Crysis 3 will be available on PC, Xbox, and PS3 in February of 2013.